Okay, a quick look at assertiveness. Well, the essence of assertiveness was summed up in the title of a famous book, I'm Okay, You're Okay. It's about being okay about yourself and therefore being okay about others. It's very difficult to be okay about other people if you're not okay about yourself. It all starts with you. Being okay about yourself. And that means not thinking that you're better than other people or that you're perfect, but realizing that you're not too bad really. Being able to look in the mirror and not hate what you see. Not blaming yourself for everything, feeling guilty about everything. Being okay about yourself is actually the sum of all the scripts that you've got in your head about yourself, all your sub-beliefs. So you'll probably have scripts about, I'm good at sport, but I'm not very good at meeting new people, or I'm forgetful, or I'm not very organised. I'm a good driver, but I'm not very good at golf, or something like that. And we have all sorts of other scripts as well about, whether we're patient in situations, whether we're able to give talks. And we're therefore a collection of good and bad beliefs about ourselves that govern our behaviour. And you can change these. You can change yourself and you can change your scripts. Sometimes they get changed for you by your upbringing or by things that happen to you. You discover you can do things, or you develop a belief that you can't do things, which becomes self-reinforcing every time you avoid that situation. But you can change your scripts by what you say to yourself. And it's very important to have a... By the way, do you have a voice in your head or is it just me? Yes, I'm sure you do. It's very important to have a positive dialogue with yourself in your head. You need to say, I can do it, I'm looking forward to it, it's going to be fine. And these need to be positive statements. If you say it's definitely not going to go wrong, people are not going to throw fruit at me while I do my talk, then obviously you're visualizing something horrible and that's going to go into your subconscious. So you need to put in good images and good thoughts into your subconscious. I can do it, it's going to go fine, it'll be easy. So by repeating things, you can gradually change your scripts. It won't be instant. When you first say something that goes against one of your scripts, your subconscious says, oh, I don't believe that. But if you keep saying it, you can gradually change what's in your subconscious. Your subconscious, after all, can't think for itself. It's just the weight of everything that's happened to it in the past. So it knows what's happened in the past and what you've always said in the past, but you can gradually change that, like gradually changing the colour of paint or changing the direction of a supertanker. So that's the idea of script. The next assertiveness idea is the idea of rights, the fact that you have got rights. And if you believe you're okay, you will believe that you've got a right to stand up for yourself and to stand up for your rights. But you also have to respect the rights of other people. Otherwise that would be aggressive. So people are either passive or aggressive usually. And the idea of assertiveness is to do not a middle ground, but the best of both. It's to say, I've got rights, but so have you, and I'll respect those as well. One of your rights is to say how you feel, and we all have a right to feel however we like and to express how we feel. We may be right or wrong. It's difficult to say. We've all just got different feelings about things. And you've got a right to say how you feel. Another important part of assertiveness is taking responsibility. It's realizing that it's your life and your behavior will affect what happens to you. You can choose how you feel, you can choose what you do in a situation, and when other people behave in ways that you're not happy with, quite often you've influenced the situation in some way or another, or you have power to influence it if you choose. So it's taking responsibility for what happens to you, rather than going, it always happens to me, and typical, and, he made me angry, or look what he did. And these are childlike things to say, because children often don't take responsibility for what happens. Those are the underlying feelings about assertiveness, things like I'm okay, I've got rights, I'm going to say how I feel, I'm going to take responsibility. What you actually say is best described by the four-step process. If you want to say something difficult to somebody or want to know what to say in a difficult situation, the four-step process is really good. And this is basically, I understand, I feel, I want, is that okay? So you start by making an effort to understand the other person's point of view. It shows that you're reasonable. You then say how you feel, and this is difficult for some people to find the words for the emotions that they're feeling, but it's very powerful when you do it. Then you say what you want, and this might be for them to change their behaviour, or for them to do it differently next time, or for them to apologise, or perhaps what you want is just to say, no, I'm not going to do it, whatever they're asking for. And then finally, you've got checking okay, saying to them, can you see my point of view? Do you think that's reasonable? Is that all right? You know, you'd feel the same, wouldn't you? And the purpose of this last step is to get them to commit in some way. If they say yes, okay, I agree, you've got them. If they say no, then you ask them why, and if you're still not happy, you can go round again. If you are happy with their explanation, you might decide to change your position or come to some workable compromise. So that's the 4-step process. I understand, I feel, I want, is that okay? Final assertiveness thought I want to mention is just the idea of detachment. When you're in a difficult or emotional situation, it's good if you can detach yourself somehow. So stand back, sort of out-of-body experience, and watch yourself having that interaction with that other person. And look at yourself and think, am I doing this the best way? What else could I do? Am I in control? Those sorts of things. But also realizing that the other person has got their own feelings and values and view of the world, and it might just be different to yours. If they're being horrible, maybe that's their problem, not yours. Maybe they've got some sort of baggage from the past, and so rather than taking it personally, you might decide to say, well, you know, that's up to them. Of course, never forgetting the fact that you are responsible for influencing the situation. So you've got a choice of either, if you like, mentally walking away, or mentally saying, well, I'm going to influence this situation. I'm going to say something different here. So detachment, very powerful, I think.